How's it going, everybody? Welcome to OP Entertainment. I'm Omar Darwish.
And I'm Pratik Cherian.
And this is our review of Super Mario Brothers, the movie. Is that what they called it? Is it just Mario?
Super Mario Brothers.
This is the Mario movie. You're watching this review, you know what it is. We're going to go spoiler-free. Not too much to give away. It's Mario.
It's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
So,
That's the biggest spoiler. It's a kid's movie. I enjoyed it for the most part. Pratik, what'd you think?
Man. It's a kid's movie.
Yeah.
It is.
I threw it to you because I just don't have a solid point yet. Like, I have to make
No, I mean, I think it's one of those where it being a kid's movie isn't necessarily a slight. I mean, we've seen like really, really good kids movies before. This one just felt like it didn't have a purpose for existing beyond the Mario brand. Like, I think the best parts of this movie were, or at least maybe not the best parts, but the parts that are relevant for adults are like all of the Easter eggs. Like, people that do Easter egg breakdowns on YouTube are going to have a field day with this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a ton. It's so much. And like, that's fun. Like the musical cues, some of the, like, especially in the beginning, there's a couple scenes where like it mimics the like platforming,
like the side-scrolled,
side-scrolling platforming. Like,
there's a couple of times in the movie they do that. I thought it was really great.
That like stuff like that's kind
of
fun.
I wanted to play the movie the whole time. If that says anything.
Yeah, but what this movie doesn't have is like plot and character and story.
There is a plot. You're right. It's not a fleshed out plot. It's not a fleshed out characters.
Yeah.
The story. It's not very like thoroughly written.
None of the like. Even for a kids movie, like none of the characters like have an arc really.
Do you know what though? I could almost forgive all of that, and I don't hate this movie. I'm not going to give it a terrible score, but this is my biggest thing with this movie. It's almost like that last Mario movie they tried like in the 80s or whatever. It was the live action one. It was like too different, like way too like out there. This one they were like, we have to play it safe. They made the most like safe Mario movie they could make. Like they didn't try anything in this.
They tried one thing. They tried to cast Chris Pratt as Mario.
And you know what? Let's talk about that.
Fine.
I thought, well, for the first half, for sure, his voice was real inconsistent for me. I felt like, it just kind of sounds like Chris Pratt. And I was like, oh, no, it sounds like this character. It sounds like the character of Mario that they're giving us. They explained it away in the movie, but I thought it was fine. I thought he was fine.
I think it doesn't help that that the voice actor for Mario makes a cameo, voices a character in this, and so you get the side by side like instantly, and it's just like, oh, that's what I wanted this to sound.
But I felt like it was also the movie, like, hey guys, this is it, shut up, just watch the movie, and like it didn't take me out of the movie. I almost feel like if Chris Pratt wasn't a known name, I wouldn't have cared. No, I don't think anybody would have noticed. It would just been a random voice.
Like, it's one of those things where the iconography of Mario being like such a character in pop culture both helps and hurts this movie because it's the biggest pro.
Could you imagine that voice though the whole movie? I don't think I would have been able to.
No, I'd have been fine.
You would have preferred that?
Yeah, I think I would have preferred that.
He's got too much dialogue. I felt like it would have been. I've never heard Mario talk that much, so maybe that's the difference.
That's probably.
I said this off camera, but this really felt like just like a sugary cereal. Like you wake up in the morning, you eat like the most sugary cereal possible. It's not going to give you anything. You're not going to feel great throughout the day, but like it gave you what you needed. Did it satisfy you? It gave you what you wanted.
Bright lights and fancy colors and. That's about it.
Leading into the visuals, which is definitely the highlight of this movie. Not just when they get to Mushroom Kingdom and everything's like just mind-blowingly like colorful and everything, but like the detail on like their overalls and their hat and like their hammers and the tools in their bag and everything. Everything was cool. Like I don't know. Like it all looks so realistic. I'm like, man, animation has come so far.
It seriously. Like I was looking at the water and I'm just like, man, you remember when Finding Nemo came out? Like. Good grief.
I almost some shots in particular. I'm like, is this stop motion? Like, did they put some stop motion in here? Like, there's like apples rolling around. I'm like, this looks real. This looks really real.
Yeah, the visuals were really good.
If nothing else, I'm super excited for Shrek 5 that they just announced because that's gonna look great. But even just like comparing this to Shrek, which you shouldn't do with any movie because it's just gonna get buried. I know we're on opposite ends of the Shrek of the Shrekdom. Don't cut that out. That was terrible. Shrek has much more of like a funny script, I guess, is the only way to go about saying that. Like Mario's just, they didn't try to be funny. It's not like there's 100 jokes that don't land, but like, I don't know, there's a couple jokes in there that are very much for kids, and the kids in the audience laughed.
See, that's the thing, because I was trying to pay attention to that. I don't think the kids laughed all that much.
I just don't think they even tried. I don't think this movie even tried to be a comedy. It was more so just like, hey, just a distraction. This is going to be on every parent's like. Every parent's gonna put this on TV just for their kids to just like sit there and watch. Like it's it's just visuals, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think like the biggest joke, if you want to call it. It's just like various points where Mario's like hitting things and falling into things, which is
Sure.
very much like the slapstick like kids humor. But even that, it was just like that's really the only one where I'm like, oh yeah, that's their joke.
Yeah, I gotta say, if this movie was funnier, it could have elevated it to like a much higher level.
In the beginning, like before,
it started strong.
It started strong,
for sure.
right?
Yeah.
When I was just like, oh, okay. Like I'm like, this isn't going to be a great movie, but this could be fun, like a fun romp through like these different worlds, and it got
was
bogged
paced
down.
really well too. The great introduction to the world, the characters, and everything, and then it just kind of slows down, like when it really shouldn't. Like, it's like the plot is picking up now and it's slowing down, but like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess. Is this something you're going to throw on instead of Avatar when you just want something visually stunning? I kept thinking, I'm like, well, at least Pratik has something.
If those are my two options, then I might just take a nap instead. I don't know.
I find myself, okay, because I'm looking at this Pinocchio Funko, right? I love Pinocchio. Listen, I love Pinocchio. I can grade that as an adult movie, even though it's an animation, right?
Yeah, but
do I grade this on a
kid's-
different? Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it though? You know,
No, it's not.
So that's kind of my biggest gripe though. Like they could have made this movie like a Pixar movie where it's kid friendly, but for everybody, Mario as a character is multi-generational.
Forget about Pixar because that's like a high standard.
But even this,
I'm thinking just like half a dozen DreamWorks movies,
right?
Like,
and
there's plenty of studios that do something that's like all ages, and this one is
and Mario is all ages. Mario
Yeah.
is literally everybody. It's 4-quadrant. Everybody, your grandparents, your kids, everybody can go see this. And I felt like they targeted it a little too much at kids.
Again, the only thing they did for adults was the Where's Waldo like Easter eggs and
Sure, yeah,
like the musical cues and stuff that they slid in. Like the Easter eggs were fun, but that's really all there was for adults.
I mean, they got Chris Pratt. That's what it was. They know adults love Chris Pratt. That's what they get him in there.
Speaking of the music, do studios just have a bunch of money
my
to pay for
First of all,
licensing rights?
okay,
It's the second movie in a row where I'm just like, how did they get this song?
Yeah, between this and Air,
Yeah.
I'm like, there's so much like pop culture, like just. First of all, if I hear "I Need a Hero" one more time in anything, I was talking about that like today, how like it's in so many movies, and it just popped up in Mario. I was like, great. But you know what though? I was thinking to myself, all the kids in here that are watching this, they're gonna remember like 80s and 90s music and like earlier music that they probably wouldn't have. They're gonna be like, hey, that's from Mario, but like it's like the kids are like, oh, the guy from Fortnite when they're talking about like Travis Scott or Spider-Man or something, It's like that. It's like that.
Yeah, no.
It's fun though. My review is, maybe just if you got a big enough TV at home, just wait. It'll be on. It'll be on something soon, streaming service. I'll just wait on it. You ready to score it?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, 5 almost seems too harsh because I did enjoy the visuals and like it wasn't bad. It's just they didn't try to do anything spectacular with this. For a kids movie, I was like a 6. I give it like a 6. It was good. It was good enough.
I'm laughing because where I scored it was harsher than that.
Oh God.
I'm giving it a 4.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 4. The visuals are nice. But yeah, it's kind of bland. They didn't try much.
So you didn't really have fun with it. I felt like it was fun for a lot of it.
I didn't think so. I thought it definitely could have been more fun.
Could have been.
I think just adding more humor would have helped
For sure. That's why I'm excited to see like a sequel for this. Like I'm down. I'm down for more Mario Universe.
Yeah. I mean, depending on the writing or whatever else, I wouldn't say no to that.
Get Lord and Miller to do the next one. Oof.
Oh gosh,
It's over, right?
All right, you want to take us out?
All right, guys. Well, you gave it a 4? What'd you give it?
I'll give it a 4.
4. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're pretty far on it, but you guys check it out. Let us know what you think.
Or don't.
Or don't. Whatever. Wait a couple months. It'll be on streaming service. But we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.